You hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
All right. I hear you too. All right. Good afternoon, YouTube. It's your man all the way, George Page, aka the Emperor of Field Bodybuilding Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. And here I have here with me by my side my bodybuilder historian, one Jared. As you know, this is the
How's it
man
going?
who, yeah, how you going? This is the man who gives me all the information. What I don't know, he knows, and that's how it works. So we work off each other. And if you notice today, Muscle Talk is about muscle women and animation and cartoons and stuff like that. And that stuff has been very popular for quite some time. If you can go back, there's been some several cartoons and animation that has featured women with muscle, and it's just something that people don't really see, don't really give too much. Most time, it's more of comedy as anything. Like if you remember the episode of Simpsons when Marge became a bodybuilder, or it was an old episode of a show called Tiny Toons, which was supposed to be like the next generation of Looney Tunes, where an episode where Plucky Duck was it's some kind of contest, and they had these three pageant girls, and they were teenage bodybuilders. And like I said, the pictures and stuff, there's a lot of, it's very popular among a fetish set, especially young, men who are into women, and there's some sites that do like kind of like animation and drawings. Sometimes they take a regular woman and just maybe or just a bodybuilder and situate her looks. So I'm gonna leave it off to Jared, and he'll tell you a lot more because, like I said, so you can take over, Jared, and I'll get everything set up.
Yeah. So George kind of gave a little bit of a summary of the topic we're going to be talking about. I've noticed for quite basically since pretty much since I was a kid, honestly, there was depictions of. Sorry about that. I'm drinking my coffee as I do this. There was depictions of women, very muscular, uh, brawny, very big muscular women in cartoon shows. And I grew up in the 90s, so my uh, 90s to early 2000s. So my generation of cartoons may be a little bit different from yours, George. So I grew up,
Hmm.
with the Tiny Toons. A lot of these 90s shows had reruns, so I saw stuff like Tiny Toons. I remember that, segment all too well with Plucky the Duck. You also had stuff like Yu-Gi-Oh! With the Amazonian women with their physiques. I don't know if you know anything about that. Uh, you had Sandy Cheeks from the show SpongeBob SquarePants,
Hmm.
and she was an actual bodybuilder in the show too. Very, very fascinating. And
Hmm.
um, on top of that, you had shows like what you calls it. Well, there was like Simpsons when they did an episode completely about female bodybuilding. There's also American Dad, Family Guy. You had Totally Spies. I think they did that actually
Oh yeah,
twice.
yes,
Yeah, there was
yeah.
like an
Because you
episode.
see in the
Yep.
Yeah, because you see in that's a picture I set up in the avatar, the episode from Totally Spies. And I used to watch that show when I was off on Fridays on my old job, and I used to watch it on the weekends. Like during the week, like we off on Fridays. But yeah, that's what the picture that shows. If you follow us, if you look at the avatar, that's the picture that we have. Oh, there's my man Marcus Bell coming through, dropping the light. And I thank you, Marcus, because he's my brother. From CS Combat Sports. We talk about women's MMA. So anyway, I found a site where they have shows some pictures of. It's a site called Animated Muscle Women, and there's some pictures here. Let me see. I am going to like right here. I'm gonna click it, and like I said, the you can find it. The links in this is the link.
Links in the description.
The links in the
Keep cutting out. George, you there? I think he's just resetting his computer. 1 second, and we'll be right back on topic.
Sorry that I went out for a second.
No problem.
Yeah, I think I had. But, if you can, I think Jared, I think because I got control, I was trying to show some pictures, but you can go ahead and keep talking.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, there was that Totally Spies. There was 2 Totally Spies episode. One where they were trying to. There was a Jamaican sledding team in the Olympics or whatever, and the Jamaican coach gives her some these robotic shrimp that go into her ears and makes her very good at what do you call it? Figure skating. But he didn't realize that it would also turn her extremely huge and bulky. And there was also one episode with Alex as well, where she takes like some kind of candy that turns her huge. Oh yeah, and there's that Family Guy episode. I remember that scene too. Yeah, that was a pretty funny scene.
Yeah, Lois being I think she had at least 2 of these. This one here is like the one she's beating up on Stewie, and that's crazy. And then that's the one she had when I think she went to jail, and she came back home. And she she got all tatted up. Here's a little video right there. And she's about to take Peter's O.
Yeah,
Oh, you know,
yeah,
yeah, that's
kind of
pretty
like the
funny.
Simpsons episode, honestly.
Yeah, I, yeah. I think I find that Simpsons episode is on here. Let me see. Yeah, that's why. So, like I said, people drop a like, subscribe, follow us here on the on my channel. I'm almost at 400 subscribers. I'm just a couple people more. I just need to get that little push because like I really appreciate and I really do appreciate y'all people coming in talking. If y'all have a subject you want to talk about, especially about the sport of bodybuilding, you know who's you know who's your favorite. You have ever been to a shows, or just basically just you know how you feel about the sport, because I think there's quite a few you know TV shows and um artists that do a lot of women with muscles. You know, I'm trying to find. Here goes. Wait a minute. Cheeks, sweets. So let's see. Or I'm trying to find some more pictures here. I'm trying to find that. Let me see. Let me see. I gotta be careful what I click. Uh ah, this is. Oh, that's the wrong. Well, this one I remember the series Thundercats War, and it wasn't that good. I mean, I grew up with the real Thundercats. But Jared, you keep on. What else? Like besides, because I know you seen me some pics here and there. Some of them I can't put on here because YouTube is very, very, very strict.
Yeah.
And yeah, and like I said, this is just. I remember there was a TV series back when I was coming out called He-Man, and there was a character known as Tila, and Tila, she was the daughter of Man at Arms, and she wasn't very muscular, but she was like kind of athletically fit and lean. And also, there's another series, like I was saying, like I was talking about Thundercats, was Chitara, and she wasn't too muscular. She was like maybe uh fitness level. She was in shape. She can run fast. She had that staff that grow, but it was those and he also had Shira, who was the sister of He-Man, and we got Bubbles here uh from Powerpuff Girls, and we got this picture right here. Sure.
Yeah. So there's also been a lot of female muscle in anime, non-Western animated series as well. Like, for example, I think her name is Kale? Kale. I think I'm saying that right. In Dragon Ball Super. So basically, in the Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z series, there was never a female Super Saiyan or a muscular Super Saiyan. And I think George cut out again. A female Super Saiyan in any of the DBZ series. So when Dragon Ball Super came around, they decided to add a female Super Saiyan who has a physique that's very skinny and not too big, but when she goes into Super Saiyan mode, she gets really buff and muscular. Um, so I find that pretty cool and interesting. Um, and let's see. And I think also, I don't know if I'm going to say her name right. Clough, Cloughalia, Clophia. She also can be a Super Saiyan. So she's another female Super Saiyan who also has a similar attribute. George, you back on?
Yeah, I'm back on.
Okay. Cut out again.
Yeah, no. I gotta get. Yeah, what I need to do is I need a better computer, cause especially I want to put down pictures. So this one I've been having for quite some time. But yeah, I remember what was it? I was trying to remember episode. There's a lot of Japanese anime. They quite often have muscular women. I think what was it was trying to remember. Mostly with the muscle women, be they have big boobs and they have huge arms, not too big.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Was it a Naruto or Full Metal Alchemist? They had I'm thinking that guy, the major, what's his face? His sister, but she wasn't muscular like he was. Trying to think of something. But I often see quite a few sites that follow female bodybuilder. They often do take some female bodybuilders and draw them. And if you follow us, if you follow us on our Lions Den Female Bodybuilding community webpage, I just recently posted a picture of Helen Trevino. And it's more of a painting, somebody painting of her. And looks, I think from her, I think it was a painting from her, I think the 2018-2019 Rising Phoenix.
Yeah, because I remember that photo shoot. Yeah, that did look like it was a former picture of her like that. Yeah. So yeah, there's also Korra from The Legend of Korra. By the end of the series, she was also starting to get some definition in her arms too. She was getting kind of muscular, and so there was that, and there's also just like a lot of I guess superhero would any I'm thinking of any there's some superheroes as well that were depicted. I know She-Hulk was one.
Yeah.
She was depicted quite muscular and all that. And you also got
there's a character called often Wonder Woman. Well, a lot of comics will have Wonder Woman have muscles, but I know there was that debate when Gal Gadot got cast as Wonder Woman. A lot of people said she wasn't that muscular, but she had a little bit more muscle compared to Linda Carter. You remember the old TV show? I grew up watching that show as a kid because the first Wonder Woman series. But often I think a lot of people, like the comic fans, who who see that, they prefer to see a woman who's like, at like a, I would say, at like a athletic build. Now, Gail Dot, she has not built to her, but she don't have as much muscles that a lot of guys want to see.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Usually, in cartoons, it's usually for like you know, comic purposes or stuff like that. Um, or the Fairly Odd Parents. I almost forgot. They also had a um, you know, an entire one where Timmy's mom becomes muscular superhero. Uh,
I think they did a couple episodes like that. I think they did one where his dad was superheroes, and then one where I think she was like a bodybuilder.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
and you also got um, there's a lot of depictions. It's just how to find it, um, who's the most prominent, uh, and it also applies to a lot like it's not just cartoon drawings. I mean, it's not just like in the canon per se. There's also like like you can look up pretty much a good percentage of females from pick your anime, pick your cartoon show, and you just type in muscle growth or something like that, and you'll get back a whole wide range of results. Of like of muscular depicted women with huge growth, be it in from DeviantArt or whatever site they upload drawings from that people can do as commissions or artist depictions per se.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, and it's like I said, often they say that a lot of most of these really popular, a lot of comic books. Like I said, we talk about She-Hulk and Wonder Woman. There's also a character called Big Barda, and she's from Planet Apocalypse, and she's the wife of Mr. Miracle. You know, and then I'm trying to think of somebody else. Um, Supergirl. You know, she's one. You know, um, there's Rogue from the X-Men. Uh, even Storm. If sometimes I've seen designers where you put a little muscle on Storm.
Yeah. And you also got Futurama as well. I know that there was an episode with I think they were on the Amazon planet.
Yeah, we're going to say. Oh, it's about the snoo.
Yes, snoo. Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, and remember the end of was it Fry and the other dude? The what's his name? I forgot his name. They were in like a full body casts.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a pretty good episode.
Yeah. But like I say, you don't see it too much now And other like maybe like others in like shows like you know Family Guy and The Simpsons and you know American Dad. You know, I don't you know like I said mostly it's quite often it's more done with more of these more prime time. And every so often you might see it on regular cartoons, but cartoon nouns have changed. You know,
Yeah.
um, and like you know, one show I used to like to watch was Teen Titans, and then they changed the look of it to be a little more kiddie. And I remember an episode where Robin worked his legs or something like that. You know, and it was a crazy episode. But you know, it's just that I don't think people still are not as you know they'll take the idea of free bodybuilding and use it more of as comic thing than it's seriously supposed to be taken seriously. But that's the thing. That's how it gets attention. You know, sometimes even you know good or bad attention, it's attention. You know.
Yeah. 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 It's I guess somewhat rare um, to have a female bodybuilding physique on screen and not be comic relief. I guess there are some exceptions like Yu-Gi-Oh with the Amazonian cards that they use, or in Dragon Ball Super with Kale. But yeah, I guess it just depends on the medium and how they're using the female in the storyline per se. And I um, I find probably the best animated animated artwork of female muscle probably comes from these uh, online shows that online artists who will take a regular female character from a TV show or whatever and buff them up per se. Because usually they can do a lot better job than even the TV show per se. Um, uh, and I guess um, I I maybe there was something else I was thinking of too. Has there been any depictions of female muscle in animated movies that you can think of?
Um, not right off the hand. Like I said, I don't. Like I said, I'm trying to think of some. There, there was a movie back in the day called Heavy Metal, and the chick on that, she had muscle, but not a lot of muscle, and you know, and she mostly the thing about her, she had huge boobs, and
Yeah,
that was out around the '80s, and
yeah,
was it trying to think of something else. Most of the time, you don't see too much on this big screen. As you know, most movies, especially if it's animated movies, are more geared towards the kiddie. Maybe you know,
yeah,
like little kids like that. Like you know, the Disney stuff don't do it too often. Mostly, if you mostly see the muscle, be mostly the men. And
yeah,
Warner Brothers, they like I said, they don't have as many female characters other than like you know that. Like I think I'm trying to think Petunia Pig and maybe that female rabbit. Forgot her name, and but generally it's more often it's more these fringe animation, something that's not with like a big company, or Japanese animation. And with Japanese animation, they don't go as far as when it comes to muscle. They might go to a certain limit, but they don't go as far as you might want to see. Most of the
Yeah,
time, women look, yeah, most of the women look more athletic
yeah,
compared to like maybe like a female bodybuilder.
yeah, yeah, and that's why drawing um, is so big in the female bodybuilding community. Um, Honestly, because it's the best way to express oneself. Because you can draw anything. Um,
I know I follow some female bodybuilders. They often do the Comic Cons also, and they dress up as certain heroes. Mostly, I think the one most popular from among a lot of women is She Hulk.
She-Hulk.
I've seen, yeah, some have done Wonder Woman, uh, Supergirl, or I'm trying to think of another.
Valkyrie, or one of those like
Yeah,
like I don't know if that'd be like a superhero per se, but like
yeah.
one of those Amazon or something like that.
Hmm. Well,
Uh, yes, I think I found. Yeah, this was the series. There's an entire series, and I remember it now. There's an animated female muscle series. It took me a while to find it. It's about literally it's about female muscle of a character called June. Um, the show, I mean the animated show, which is anime, is called Iron Virgin June, and it's about
mm,
it's not for kids, obviously, uh,
hmm
and it's about a female bodybuilder. Um, I think she transitions from having black hair to when she becomes a female bodybuilder to having blonde hair and very big and muscular. It's kind of like a transformation almost. And yeah, yeah, definitely check it out. It's got that old kind of cartoon, drawings. So it's um, I find older cartoon drawings to be a lot better than the modern day cartoon drawings, honestly. Um,
mm.
so I definitely looked that up. Iron Virgin June, because I remember that from uh, way back in the day of YouTube when it first started. I saw that clip, and it was quite impressive. Um,
Well,
but
you find
be
it.
warned. But be
Hmm.
warned. There is some very adult subjects in it for the weak of mind per se.
Yeah, yeah, because some people are not as open-minded about certain subjects, especially
Yeah,
when it comes to women and sex. That's the thing. And I know quite often some guys draw kind of sexual content with female bodybuilders, like guys getting held up, guys getting carried. I mean, that's very popular. It's just, as you know, it's a big fetish. It's a big fetish content to it, and a lot of guys will buy the anime. They'll buy the pictures. They'll be online downloading. You know, there's there's a lot of it. You wouldn't think as much as, but it's quite a lot of it.
Yeah. Well, this Iron Virgin June, there's a, a rape plot in it. June has to escape rapist. So that's one of the adult contexts in the show. Um, uh, yeah. So yeah, those are pretty much all the TV shows and everything else I wanted to um, kind of go over. I'm looking up this Ogala character from uh, Glenn Martin DDS. It's kind of amazing how they're just depicting her like it's just completely. I would definitely check it out.
Alrighty. Well, like I said, if we don't have much else to say, this was pretty interesting. I wish that I had gotten some more pictures and stuff. I wish my computer was a little better when we do this, but next time, we really can really do more research on it, give some more information. I know there's a lot of you out there who do collect some of these pictures and download and watch the videos and watch the episodes because of for your fetish for female bodybuilding and for real muscle. That's what it is. It connects to a certain group of people. And those people who are not comfortable about it, well, don't watch it. Don't look at it. Turn your head, turn off your television. Don't buy it. If you see it, keep walking. You don't have to. Sometimes don't. You have nothing good to say. Don't say nothing at all. That's all I
Yeah.
can say. Yeah. So I really appreciate it. My man Marcus Bell coming through. I appreciate people dropping the likes, liking our podcast. I'm hoping we'll try to get something else. We'll talk about another subject next week. If you have any requests, you can put them in the description, and I'll check them out, and we'll try to request. Anyway, this is your
Yeah.
man. Yeah. This is your man, aka All the Way George Page, along with my historian Jared, and this is female. This is a Muscle Talk Monday number 25. We'll talk about animation, and we appreciate your time. And maybe next time we, if I don't go in and out, we really put everything together. All right, we're out.
All right. Peace.